What happens when a beloved children's show host turns sinister? Welcome to the world of Buddy.
Hey, I'm Garrett, feeling curious and ready to dig into today's topic. Let's keep it chill and see where this goes.
I'm Leah, and welcome to Laid Back Learning with Garrett.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. Today we're talking about Buddy, the 2026 film that blends supernatural, fantasy, comedy, horror, and slasher vibes all in one.
Here's something to get us started. I grew up on those 1990s children's shows with bright sets and sing-along moments, the kind where the host asked you to clap along and learn a lesson about sharing. They felt so safe, so simple. Buddy flips that feeling and asks what happens when the cheerful rules of that world are not so friendly underneath. It's such a twist on the nostalgia I remember.
Let's dive right in. Buddy is directed by Casper Kelly, with the script by Kelly and Jamie King. It premiered in the midnight section at Sundance in January 2026, that late-night lineup that champions bold, genre-bending films. The premise is wild. A group of children are stuck inside a surreal 1990s-style live-action kids show called It's Buddy. When one child refuses to play along, the host Buddy, a gigantic bright orange unicorn, reveals a brutal, malevolent side. From there, it's a scramble to escape, while a woman from the outside gets pulled into the nightmare searching for her daughter. That mashup of tones is the point. It moves from playful to menacing in a snap, but still hangs together.
And the cast anchors all that. Christine Milioti plays Grace, the mother trying to find her missing daughter, Freddie, played by Delaney Quinn. Topher Grace plays Ben, Grace's husband and Freddie's dad. Keegan-Michael Key voices Buddy the Unicorn. That's such a clever choice. He's known for warmth and quick comedy beats, so when the character turns, it stings. The show within the film looks exactly like a 1990s live-action educational series. Bright colors, foam costumes, and cheerful props. That texture does a lot of storytelling before anyone even speaks.
Speaking of the ensemble, the kids inside the show are a full lineup. Josh, Timothy, Oliver, Hannah, Derek, Tyler, and Wade. They're set up like the cooperative problem-solving squads you'd see on Real Kids TV, only here those same teamwork lessons can be twisted into pressure to conform. One cool production detail. Buddy's presence is split between a voice and in-suit performers. Sergei Zuravsky performs in suit as Buddy, while Jonathan Yurko performs as Dark Buddy, an even more sinister form. An in-suit performer is exactly what it sounds like, a person inside a creature costume who gives it weight, movement, and personality on set. The voice comes from Key, so you get this hybrid character that feels both inviting and uncanny.
Why go with suits and puppetry instead of slick computer effects? I mean, what does that buy them here?
Two big things. First, tactility. When a giant orange unicorn is actually in the room, the kids in the camera relate to real mass. That sells the threat. Second, it locks in the 1990s vibe. Those shows were foam, felt, and puppets, not CG gloss. The physical performance language matters too. Buddy can move loose and bouncy, while Dark Buddy can prowl and angle his body in a predatory way. You read the character shift without a word.
That tracks. And look at the in-world characters. There's Nurse Nancy and Mailman Miles, helper archetypes from kids programming. Then the talking objects. Patton Oswalt voices Strappy, an anthropomorphic backpack, and Michael Shannon voices Willie, a ventriloquist doll. A ventriloquist doll already carries creepy baggage, split voice, hidden intent. Clint Howard shows up as George, a howdy-doody-like cowboy puppet. That's a direct nod to early American kids' TV. The film pulls these familiar shapes and asks us to feel the unease living inside them.
And Eric Bauza does a multi-role tour, voicing Mr. Mailbox, Worrywell, Couchy, Trashy, and P-Flower. Those are household or playground fixtures turned into characters. Mr. Mailbox even has an uncredited in-suit performer, Rachel Applebaum, to keep it tactile. Jemica Collins voices Betty Bunny in Scared Flower, with Sedwin Hooks suiting up as Betty Bunny. Devin Hawks Ludlow voices Charlie the Train. Trains in kids' shows usually take you from one learning segment to the next. Here, that same gentle transit can funnel you straight into danger. It's a whole chorus of objects designed to teach, flipped into a system that enforces rules.
Let's get to the heart of why the tension works. The trigger is a child refusing to play along. That simple act, saying no to the lesson, exposes how participation might not be optional. It also explains why Grace matters so much. As an adult entering the show's logic, she is the skeptical lens. She's a mother who will not stop, and that emotion keeps the dream logic from floating away. It's grounded in a family trying to reconnect under pressure.
All right, let's roll on. A few production beats help date the journey. Kristen Milioti was announced in July 2025, with Casper Kelly confirmed as director and Jamie King as co-writer. Principal photography, that's the main filming period, started that same week. Topher Grace joined in late July and Delaney Quinn in August. Then in December, they revealed the voice casting of Keegan-Michael Key, Michael Shannon, and Patton Oswalt. That timing fits. Voices for suit characters can be recorded during or after the shoot. It all led to the Sundance midnight premiere in January 2026.
And the setting feels carefully chosen too. They filmed in Northeast Ohio, in places like Brooklyn, Solon, and Burton. Smaller towns can double as any place USA and give you flexible spaces that feel like studio sets. That off-the-beaten-path choice adds to the uncanny. The show within the film looks familiar but placeless. Exactly how a syndicated kids show could feel when you were little.
Let's move ahead to how it landed. Reviews after Sundance were generally positive, noting how the concept and execution locked together, even with the genre juggling act. On the business side, Roadside Attractions and Saban Films acquired North American distribution in April 2026. Distribution rights are permission to market and release in a region. They planned a theatrical release in cinemas and then nudged the date earlier, from September 2026 to August 2026. That's often a confidence move to catch late summer genre crowds ahead of the fall crush.
Why move it earlier instead of later? I always think of later as giving more runway.
Earlier can mean a cleaner lane. Late August has room for buzzy genre titles. Word of mouth from Sundance can still be humming, and you avoid the crowded Labor Day and prestige season pileups. If your film hits that weekend, it can leg out on momentum rather than get squeezed by bigger rollouts.
New thread incoming. There's a big unanswered question I keep circling. What if the child had never refused to play along? If nobody said no, the harmony would hold, right? The show's rules would feel helpful, and the bright colors would keep masking the control. It gives me chills thinking about that, because it suggests you can live inside a smiling loop and never test the edges.
I'm down for that thought experiment. If the refusal never happens, the mask may never slip. The kids might keep repeating lessons in a closed circuit of call and response. The system would self-validate. Every song confirms the next rule. Every rule rewards the next smile. From that angle, the refusal is the key that exposes the trap. Without it, Grace might not find a way in either, and the search stays cold in the real world.
I hear that, but I lean the other way. There is always friction somewhere, even in a cheerful system. A missed cue, a kid who hesitates, a question that does not fit the lesson. Defiance does not have to be dramatic to be real. That tiny pause can reveal the machinery. Real talk. The film argues that saying no is healthy because it breaks the spell and shows you what is underneath.
So maybe the takeaway is not that the loop is invincible, but that it relies on constant participation to stay sweet. The moment you stop feeding it energy, it shows teeth. That's a solid point.
Switching gears just a little. In pop culture terms, Buddy riffs on the 1990s kids' show look with its play and learn segments and bouncy mascots, and it also nods to Howdy Doody through George, that deranged cowboy puppet. By twisting those familiar icons, it taps our nostalgia and then questions it. Casting Keegan-Michael Key adds another layer. The friendly voice we trust becomes the betrayal that hurts the most. It is effective precisely because it feels so recognizable at first. Okay, thought experiment number 2. What if Buddy had ended up as a festival-only film without the Roadside Attractions and Saban Films deal? Maybe it becomes that whispered Sundance memory, people trading stories about the orange unicorn that freaked them out at midnight shows, but no wide release to amplify it. It might have gone to a small set of regional screenings and lived online in clips and stories rather than in theaters.
I could see it taking on cult status, a secret handshake title among fans of practical creature work and media satire. It might have steered other indies to double down on suitmation and in-room puppetry because they would see how audiences react to tactile scares. On the flip side, without a national theatrical push, its influence might concentrate in midnight programming and college screenings, shaping a smaller but very dedicated lane. Either way, the concept has legs. It sticks in your head.
Time to land the plane. Buddy blends genres to ask sharp questions about participation and control, with Christine Miliotti's grace keeping the heart of it beating. If you like bright colors with real shadows, this one delivers.
So there we have it, folks. Stay curious and keep exploring new perspectives.